Okay, go ahead.
Hey guys, welcome to the garage. I'm Brian,
I'm Ed.
and this is this weekend's garage. And this first episode is going to be the D-Day episode.
Yes,
Yeah,
because it is the D-Day.
Yep.
6th.
And my birthday, by the way.
74 years ago?
Yeah. Hey, I was born on a cool day, by the way. If you think about it, you know.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. So, and guess who else was born on this day?
My other friend Dan Moore. I just said happy birthday on
Norris.
Facebook.
Chuck
Norris.
Chuck
Yes,
Norris.
that's right.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. Happy birthday, brother Chuck. We know he's a brother in the Lord. But anyways, D-Day. And, you know, we watched The Greatest Generation storm the beaches in the face of serious opposition.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If any of you have ever seen Saving Private Ryan, the opening scene, or Band of Brothers, you know what kind of opposition those men faced. They knew what they were going into.
Yeah. Those most people would say boys, 18-year-old, 17-year-olds.
Men.
Those are men.
Those were men. And,
You're getting bullets flying at you from the Germans. You're a man.
Yeah, and then of course they opened the end of those troop carriers up on the beach, and that was just a shooting gallery for the German machine gunners. But and a lot of them didn't even get off the boat. A lot of guys, when they jumped into the water, they had so much gear on they sunk to the bottom.
Yep.
And they drowned. The beaches of Normandy were red with the blood of Englishmen, Americans, Australians, countless. And but they fought and they defeated fascism. They defeated socialism.
Yes.
And while the Greatest Generation charged headlong into danger, men today put masks on, social distance, and hide behind their
Or put
couch.
their mask on and rush headlong into a shop they just threw a brick through the window of.
Yeah. Then those are not men.
No.
Okay. These are children acting out. These men that fought on the beaches of Normandy didn't do that so that you could go out, not talking to you Christian brothers and sisters or you fellow patriots or patriotic Christians, but I'm talking to the protesters, the looters, the rioters, the murderers, the thugs, the thieves, and I'm also talking to unconstitutional law enforcement. They didn't do what they did so that you could continue doing things the way you've been doing.
Nope.
More recently, a sheriff down in Florida issued a statement, and he's dead on right. This is a constitutional, honorable man who said that if you come into our county in order to enter homes illegally, the people in my county, I have told them, I encourage them to own guns. You will be blown back out of their house. Same thing goes for my county. Same thing goes for Ed. If you think you're going to come into the rural areas and do what you've done in the cities that these Democrat mayors have allowed you to do, you better think again. Because there are those of us out here that share the same, I want to say share the same spirit as those men who stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Yep. That's why I carried the gun they did.
That's right.
My 1911.
Yeah. That's, you know, and I don't have a 1911, but you know what?
Gets the job done.
I got one that still gets the job done.
Yep.
And then, of course, there are people who own rifles.
Yep.
So, and we know how to use them.
Yes.
To great effectiveness. So, my suggestion is this. Don't come into the rural areas trying to spread the chaos and the destruction that you've done in the cities that these Democrat mayors have allowed you to do. My suggestion is this. Go home. Okay?
Yeah.
Peaceful protest is one thing.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with peaceful protest, but at the same time, mixed in with these peaceful protesters are the anarchists. Antifa.
Yep.
Make no mistake about it, Antifa. Sitting in your mom and daddy's basement playing Xbox does not prepare you for what you will face if you come out into the suburbs. Because now you're not going to be facing city people. A lot of them that vote Democrat that think that if they kowtow to you that you won't loot their shop, you won't destroy their home, you won't burn their car, you won't attack their mom, their dad, or in one case, and this proves just that these people are animals, go into an animal shelter, a no-kill shelter, and grab a helpless puppy and hang it until it dies from a street sign.
Yep. Burn horses alive in the back of a trailer.
They did that too?
Mm-hmm. Yep, did that on the highway.
Make no mistake, I've said this before, and I don't think you would disagree, and I don't think there are too many Christian patriots out there who disagree. If you're going to be acting like an animal, you're going to be treated with such a cord.
Basically.
Understand that. I'm not going to allow you, we are not going to allow you to hurt innocent women and children and elderly and destroy people's livelihoods and homes.
Yeah. Because, what you're doing does not change.
No.
What you're doing is you're playing into the
globalists.
The globalists, I had the word, agenda.
Yes.
Playbook, whatever. You're their pawn. Of the chessboard, you're the little pawn that, we'll just go sacrifice these guys. No problem.
Antifa, Black Lives Matter, they're all funded by George Soros.
Yes.
By organizations that he funds.
Yes.
So people need to wake up and be aware. Yeah. Okay?
Instead of protesting, stay home, do some research.
Yeah.
And realize what you're protesting isn't even nothing.
And the officers in question, as far as George Floyd, and prayers for his family.
Yeah.
For God's strength for his family. And that I pray that miracles come out of this, that people come to know Christ.
Yeah.
And but the 4 officers in question are in jail. And they are going to answer for their crime.
Yep. Yeah, we just watched a video I showed him right before this. How many unarmed black people, because there's men and women in that statistic. Yeah. Last year, 2019, how many died innocently from the cops? With the ones that died with no weapons?
Not a lot. I know that.
10.
10, okay, 10.
10.
But now, let's say this.
That's what you're protesting.
Yeah, 10 is
10 deaths.
1 is too many, to be honest with you.
And then the video, I stopped it before we got there, 8 of those deaths are justified.
Yeah.
The people were doing things to kill a cop.
Thank you.
They just didn't have a weapon, didn't have a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
They were using a car, or they were using something
and they got shot.
And then 1 was an accidental discharge, or no, 7. And 1 was accidental discharge. The other 2 were blatant, or whatever you want to call it. The cops were in the wrong. In both those cases, the cops are now in jail.
Yeah, which is the right thing to do.
What you guys are protesting for.
Yeah, and now another thing. If there's a chart out, and it's a federal government chart.
Yes.
Okay? And I can't give you the exact numbers, but I can kind of illustrate with my hands the graphs that I saw. The amount of black on white, or white on black crime.
Yeah.
It was like this tall.
Yep, I saw that graph, yeah.
Any amount's too much, but it was only this tall.
Yeah.
Okay? Then the amount of blacks killed by cops was like this.
Yeah.
And then you take a look at the amount of black on white crime, and it rose significantly. Then you take a look at the amount of black on black crime.
Yeah, and it was double that.
Double that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you're going to protest in your own neighborhoods.
Yeah. It's a cultural thing. It's like I said on that one, it's not a skin thing, it's a sin thing.
Yeah. It
Go
is.
to church.
It is.
You don't see the people going to church, black, white, Chinese, whatever, out there protesting. You shouldn't.
There's a pastor. He's a black pastor, and he runs Atlah or ATLAH, I believe is how it's spelled, Ministries. And he did a thing way back when Obama was in office. And I can't use the language he will use because if I use it, I'm considered a racist.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though.
Yeah.
But he talked about Barack Obama, who's been in the news recently because he can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
He wants to stir racial division, which is what he did when he was in office, him and Michelle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about Obama. He said, we gave you the House, we gave you the Senate, and we elected you, gave you the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And you failed.
Mm-hmm. Miserable.
How many Democrat-controlled cities do we have in this country? And if you take a look at the crime rates in Democrat-controlled states and cities, I can promise you they are exponentially higher in these states and cities because they also have highly restrictive gun laws.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Restricting people's Second Amendment right, people's ability to defend themselves from criminals, thugs.
Yep.
So you want to look at what the causal factor is, protesters? Take a look at your politicians. Take a look at your law enforcement. Because in Democrat-controlled states, you have Democrat police chiefs, you have Democrat sheriffs, you have Democrat mayors, Democrat governors, Democrat House of Representatives in the state house. You have all that. And they have done nothing except for to destroy your neighborhoods, your lives, to control you, and to keep you on the Democrat plantation by saying,
yeah,
they're going to put y'all back in chains, like Joe Biden said once. That's the game they play.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You move into my neighborhood, and let's say you're a hard-working, I don't care what color you are. I've got a lady who lives in my neighborhood. She's a single mom. God bless her heart. She's got 2 kids, a little boy and a little girl. And she's hard-working. And I don't care what color she is. Because she's a nice person.
Yeah.
I've talked to her at length. We've talked about different things. We've talked about these things we're talking about right now. And she doesn't understand why y'all are doing what you're doing.
No, nobody does.
Because you want us to trust you. You want us to feel safe with you around. And you need to start acting like it. Okay? Because there's a bunch of you right now, these rioters and looters. Let me tell you something. I don't want you in my neighborhood.
No.
And that's not a racial thing. That's a common sense thing.
Yeah, because there's stupid white people out there doing the same thing.
That's right. And I've seen stupid white people mixing in those mouths.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you see a white boy running into a store holding on to some product because the looters broke into the store, he took advantage of it too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him in my neighborhood neither.
Yeah, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not a skin thing. It's a sin thing.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
There's all races acting the fool right now. So
this is just a suggestion I think we ought to put out. Let's remember the sacrifice that over 1.3 million Americans died for. Our Constitution, our rights, our God-given rights that can't be taken away by any government. And today, especially of all days, let's remember that. And let's honor their sacrifice by acting like Americans.
And stop vandalizing war memorials.
Vandalizing the war memorial. Because guess what? African Americans are on those memorials too.
Yes.
Okay? American Indians are on those memorials.
Yes.
Mexicans are on those memorials.
Read your
Japanese
history
are on
book.
those memorials. Hello. When I saw the Vietnam War Memorial, did you see it?
Yeah. If you go
right now, I was doing that. I'll
almost
repent later.
guarantee if you ask any looter right now, you get them to stop looting and ask them, "Hey, do you know who the Tuskegee Airmen are?" None of them could tell you.
No. The Tuskegee Airmen are on those memorials. They were an all-black fighter pilot squadron.
Some of the baddest men in history.
Yeah. Watch the movie Red Tails. Let me explain something to you. Do you know how many bombers the Tuskegee Airmen lost in all the missions they flew? Escort bombers?
None.
None.
There you go.
None.
Yep. And you know what they would do right now? They would be going down there kicking your butt.
Yes, they would. If they weren't
like
too
a
old,
fool.
I can guarantee you they would. You know, 2 guys in particular, they called them the gruesome twosome. And let me tell you something. If you were an enemy fighter pilot, enemy combatant in the sky, and come up against these 2 guys, well, God help you, because he's the only one that could.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they were some of the greatest fighter pilots in the history of World War II.
Yes.
And they were black.
And they were black.
Think about that.
Yes.
Think about all your forefathers that fought and died for the freedom you have today.
Yeah.
Think about Dr. Martin Luther King. He protested. He didn't riot.
Yes.
Nobody burned anything down when he had a protest.
No, he would chew them out. I saw videos of him yelling at people throwing rocks at the cops.
Yeah.
Stop that. That's not what we do.
No. Peaceful protest. Peaceful. Okay? Now, in the next video, we're going to be talking about the difference between a time for peace and a time for fighting. Okay? And it involves Christian pacifism, because that's something else I'm seeing today. A lot of Christians taking the pacifist approach to these people. And I got news for you. There's some of them you can't take a pacifist approach to, and we're going to discuss that. But in light of everything that's going on in our country,
yes,
as we always do,
yes,
I got to ask the question.
Before you ask that question,
go ahead.
Mind the leg segues into that. Russ Dizdar, on his podcast last night, brought up the best thing I've heard about. We're protesting about a guy sitting on his knee on someone else's neck, and that guy died.
Yep.
And now they got all these protests.
Yep.
Who made the greatest sacrifice like that? The Romans stood on Jesus's neck, It's like, and he died. It's the biggest sacrifice in history.
Yeah.
And we're not protesting. We're like, oh, where's our...
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's the protest
yes.
for a woman in Michigan, a white woman in Michigan, who was killed by a black cop?
Yes. Where's the protest for the babies that can't breathe because you murdered them in the womb?
Yeah. Where's the protest for them?
Millions and millions,
You
as The Rock says. Millions!
Where's the
and
protest for all the
dead
black
babies.
lives that were killed by other blacks? Where's Black Lives Matter at for that? Where's Antifa at for that?
Yes.
So, in light of everything
World's
that's going
getting
on,
crazy.
man, it is.
No God.
Yeah.
Turn to God.
No
Trust
God, no peace. Now that means no God.
Yes.
If you don't know God, you got no peace.
Yeah.
But if you know God, you
Then
know
you
peace.
know what peace is.
Okay? And if you don't know Jesus Christ,
Yes.
you can't know God.
Yes. You've got... you don't even know if you're going to die going to the grocery store right now.
Yeah, it's like that video I posted. You see those people coming down the road getting in an accident, and bodies flew out of the car in front of another car with a dash cam. You never know when your number's up.
Yes. No clue.
And it's like the guy in Indiana Jones said to Indiana Jones fighting on the boat. My soul is prepared, Dr. Jones. How's yours?
Yeah.
Do you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Because if you don't know Him, you need to get to know Him today, right now. Whatever you're
Yes.
doing right now, wherever you're at right now, ask Jesus into your heart, into your life.
Mm-hmm.
Follow His Word. Because He'll never,
Yes.
ever lead you wrong. He'll never leave you or forsake you. He'll be the best friend you ever had.
Yes. And He'll lead you through this craziness we're doing.
Yeah. And God's Word promises that He will give provision to His people.
Yes.
He will protect. You can't have a better defender than God Almighty.
Nope.
Because He's been defending Israel for centuries. So guys, God bless you.
Yes.
Hope this video helps some of you out there, and I hope some of you come to know Christ through it.
Yes. Yep. God bless.